So glad you're streaming with us. Today, Bryan Kohberger, the University of Idaho murder suspect, is facing a deadline to provide an alibi on where he was the night of the killings. The judge in the case requesting Kohberger's lawyers give more details about the former PhD student's whereabouts at the time 4 students were stabbed to death in that off-campus home. Kohberger's lawyers claim in a previous court filing that the suspected murderer was instead driving around alone, as he often did in the late evening and early morning hours when those murders were actually committed back in 2022. He faces 4 counts of first-degree murder in addition to 1 count of felony burglary. Our Alex Stone is following the investigation out of L.A. So, Alex, what can we expect from Kohberger's lawyers, you think?
Well, maybe nothing today, Kira. We don't know. His attorneys, this is a deadline today to give a more detailed accounting of his alibi. The judges said today is that date. He wants answers on more than just generally he was driving around and that he liked to drive around at nighttime and that he would just kind of roam around in his car and then go home at the end of the night. The judge and the defense are saying no, that they need where he was specifically and what witnesses they plan to call to try to prove that. But, Kira, you got to think about if he was just driving around, innocent or guilty, how do you prove that? If he wasn't interacting with anybody, if he wasn't over at somebody's house, if he didn't go into a convenience store and buy something. So they may not be able to offer anybody up. But the judge is saying today is that date. If they do not give anything, the judge could say, well, then you can't use that alibi at all in the trial. We don't know when the trial will be, but you can't use that alibi at all when it comes to trial time. And that's really their only alibi because there is the evidence, the video showing him driving around. Police say that they know from his cell phone pings that he was driving around the Moscow area in Latah County. So if they can't make that general claim that, well, this is just what he does and he likes to drive around, well, then what other alibi do they come up with? And at this point, we don't know.
So it's been, what, more than a year and a half since these brutal slayings. Still no trial in sight. When could that change?
We don't know when there will be a trial. So next month, there is going to be a hearing, and this is all leading up to a change of venue hearing next month when his team wants it out of Latah County. They say there's been too much publicity. They've actually been admonished for doing surveys in the area, asking people what they know about the case to try to prove to the judge that there is too much publicity in the Latah County area. They haven't said where they want it to go, somewhere else in Idaho, but they want it out of that area. The prosecution is saying no, that they can get a fair trial in Latah County, that they want it to be there. But at this point, we don't know when the eventual trial will be. We don't know where it's going to be. All of that's still up in the air.
Alex Stone, appreciate it. You can learn more about the Idaho case if you tune in to ABC's audio true crime podcast called The King Road Killings. You can actually listen now wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to click the follow button to get the episodes delivered right to your phone. We hope you'll take a listen.